Avengers, Secret Wars to movie opens, when remnants of the multiverse lay fractured after the first Secret Wars. Heroes who survived are scattered across strange, mismatched worlds stitched together by forces they can barely comprehend. Earth's mightiest stand weary, their memories filled with echoes of battles against gods and monsters. Some question if this is truly their reality or just another construct meant to test them. Amidst the confusion, the faint signal of a distress beacon emerges, carrying a familiar voice, Nick Fury calling for one last stand. Strange realities collide, forcing heroes to confront twisted versions of themselves. Tony Stark, alive in one shard of reality, meets an older Steve Rogers who never returned the Infinity Stones. Their reunion is bittersweet. They're both tired of fighting yet can't walk away. Doctor Strange senses an unstable ripple growing in the heart of the Battleworld, something that could either restore the multiverse or collapse it entirely. Loki, half redeemed, half scheming, claims to know the source, but demands his own price for a helping. Trust becomes a rare currency as alliances shift like sand. Across the ruins of New York, Wanda Maximoff wanders, haunted by her past and visions of her children from another reality. She refuses to fight again, until she encounters a young hero who reminds her of everything she once believed in. Meanwhile, Peter Parker tries to hold on to the idea of being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in a world where neighborhoods no longer exist. Every hero is battling something personal, while the cosmic threat looms ever closer. In the deep void between worlds, Galactus stirs not as a villain, but as a wounded giant trying to survive the collapsing realities. His arrival sends shockwaves through the fragmented lands, drawing out villains who see an opportunity to take his power. Doctor Doom, now wearing the Beyonder's mantle, rules over the largest fragment of Battleworld. His rule is absolute, but cracks in his control appear when he realizes the multiverse's destruction will leave him with nothing to rule. Thor Odinson, carrying the weight of Asgard's destruction once more, roams the wastelands seeking allies. He finds Beta Ray Bill imprisoned in a reality ruled by a savage Maestro Hulk, forcing them into a brutal fight for freedom. Across another fragment, Sam Wilson and Shuri work together to protect a surviving city of innocents from an army of Ultron drones. Their shared leadership becomes a beacon of hope in a hopeless war. The heroes reunite in a fractured Avengers tower that floats between dimensions. It's here Strange reveals the only way to save the multiverse, finding the anchor points, fixed places where reality is still stable. Each anchor point is guarded by something powerful, some by gods, others by twisted versions of the heroes themselves. Failure to secure even one could mean total collapse. The team splits into smaller groups, each tasked with a dangerous mission. In an alien world, one group led by Steve and Natasha finds themselves in a medieval reality where Tony Stark is a king ruling from a castle made of Iron Man armor. Another, led by Wanda and Peter, faces a post-apocalyptic wasteland dominated by Kong variants who never stopped conquering. Every mission forces the heroes to confront what they could have been in different circumstances, some more disturbing than inspiring. In the midst of their journey, a mysterious figure begins sabotaging their efforts. This figure is revealed to be an older, broken version of Doctor Strange, one who failed to save his own multiverse and now believes no universe should survive. His presence forces the younger Strange to question whether his plan is truly right or just a doomed repetition. Tensions flare when Loki betrays the group, handing over one of the anchor points to Doom in exchange for a reality where he rules without opposition. However, Loki's deception is layered. His betrayal also a way to infiltrate Doom's court and learn his endgame. Still, trust within the Avengers is shattered, with Steve threatening to walk away entirely. In a rare moment of peace, Peter Parker confides in Wanda about his guilt for every life he couldn't save. Wanda admits she feels the same, but reminds him that carrying guilt is proof they still care. This conversation reignites her will to fight, and she begins to believe they can win not just for themselves, but for every soul lost along the way. Doom's true plan comes to light. He seeks to destroy all other realities and merge their survivors into one perfect world under his rule. To do this, he needs Galactus's life force to stabilize the merge. The Avengers race against time, knowing that once Galactus falls, there will be no turning back. The fight to protect the cosmic giant becomes a desperate battle in the skies above a reality where the ground itself shifts like waves. Beta Ray Bill sacrifices himself to hold off Maestro Hulk long enough for Thor to rejoin the main battle. His final words remind Thor of the weight of friendship and the honor of dying for a cause greater than oneself. Meanwhile, Sam and Shuri manage to destroy an Ultron core, but not before losing many of the civilians they vowed to protect. The victory feels hollow, yet it's one step closer to saving everything. Strange, wielding both his own magic and the fragments of the Beyonder's power stolen from Doom's territory, confronts his darker self. Their duel bends reality into shapes beyond comprehension, until the younger Strange traps the older in an eternal loop of his own regrets. The act costs him dearly, draining most of his magic and leaving him vulnerable for the final fight. The Avengers launch an all-out assault on Doom's fortress, a towering structure of shifting architecture that reshapes to counter every attack. Loki's double betrayal comes to fruition as he disables Doom's inner defenses, allowing the heroes to storm the throne room. Doom, empowered by stolen cosmic energy, proves almost unstoppable, forcing the Avengers to fight with everything they have. Wanda unleashes the full force of her chaos magic, tearing apart the threads of Doom's reality construct. Peter swings in at the last second to deliver the final blow to Doom's armor, giving Thor the opening to strike with Mjolnir. The combined attack shatters Doom's hold on the multiverse, but the backlash sends shockwaves that begin to rip everything apart. Strange uses the last of his strength to channel the energy from the anchor points into repairing the multiverse. The process pulls the heroes apart, scattering them back to their own realities. As they fade from each other's sight, each hero shares a silent moment of gratitude. Knowing they may never meet again, Peter lands back in a restored New York, the familiar noise of the city greeting him. Steve finds himself walking through a quiet park, at peace for the first time in years. Wanda wakes up in a small home, hearing children's laughter from the next room. Each of them wonders if it's real, but chooses to believe it is not in a hidden corner of the multiverse. Loki sits on a throne not as a conqueror, but as a guardian of a small, strange world he swore to protect. Thor visits him, offering no judgment, just silent understanding between brothers who've seen too much. Their uneasy peace hints at more stories to come. Galactus drifts through the void, alive, but forever changed by the battle. He looks toward the stars, knowing there are greater threats still lurking beyond the edges of the multiverse. His final words to himself are simple: the war is never truly over. Far away from the restored worlds, deep in an uncharted void, a shadowy figure watches the multiverse heal through a fractured portal. His face remains hidden, but in his hand lies a shard of Doom's shattered armor, still pulsing faintly with cosmic energy. With a quiet, calculating smile, he whispers, "They think the board is clear, but the next move is mine." The portal closes, leaving only darkness and the unsettling promise that the true battle for the multiverse has only just begun.